The village of Greyvale rests in a valley where mist clings to stone cottages like forgotten prayers. Smoke rises from morning fires. Women carry water from the well. Men sharpen tools for the day's work. Children chase chickens through narrow paths between homes. The forest stands at the edge of all things, dark and ancient, watching with a silence that has no end. This is a place where the old ways are remembered. Where the moon is not merely light but a presence. Where wolves are spoken of only in whispers and never after dark. Aldric wakes to the sound of his mother's voice calling him to breakfast. He is 16, with gentle eyes and hands that have never known violence. His father works the fields. His mother tends the hearth. Their home is small but warm. Aldric sits at the wooden table, eating bread and honey while his mother hums an old song her grandmother taught her. His father speaks of the work needed before winter comes. Aldric listens, nods, says little. He is a boy who prefers silence to noise, observation to action. The village schoolhouse is a single room with rough benches and a fireplace that smokes when the wind turns. Elder Barnaby teaches the children their letters and numbers, but also the old stories. The warnings. The histories that must not be forgotten. Aldric sits beside his closest friend, Willem, who talks too much and laughs too loud. Willem makes jokes during lessons. Aldric smiles but does not join in. He watches the other children, the way sunlight moves across the floor, the crows gathering outside the window. Elder Barnaby stands before the children, his voice low and grave. He speaks of the forest, of the creatures that dwell there, of the laws that keep the village safe. Never enter the forest after dark, he says. The wolves there are not as other wolves. They are older, touched by something beyond our understanding. The moon calls to them and they answer. Stay within the village walls when night falls. This is the law. This is survival. The children listen. Some with fear. Some with disbelief. Aldric listens with a strange feeling in his chest, as if the words were meant only for him. After lessons, Aldric helps his father repair a fence near the edge of the village. The forest looms close here. Too close. Aldric can smell the earth, the moss, the wild things hidden in shadow. His father works quickly, eager to finish before the sun begins its descent. We do not linger here, his father says. Not ever. Aldric hammers the last post into the ground. His hands are steady, but his eyes keep drifting toward the treeline. Something in him pulls toward that darkness. A curiosity he cannot name. That evening, as the sun turns the sky to blood and gold, Willem finds Aldric near the well. He is grinning, wild-eyed, full of boyish courage. I dare you, Willem says. Just to the edge. Just to see. Aldric shakes his head. The elders say. The elders are old and frightened of shadows, Willem interrupts. We are young. We are not afraid. But Aldric is afraid. He feels it in his bones, a knowing that has no words. Still, Willem's laughter is infectious. His confidence tempting. And Aldric does not wish to seem weak. Aldric stands at the crossroad between obedience and pride. He thinks of his father's warnings. Elder Barnaby's stories. The cold certainty in his mother's eyes when she speaks of the forest after dark. But Willem is already walking toward the trees, calling back over his shoulder. Come, Aldric. Or stay here and be a child forever. The words sting. Aldric follows. Not because he is brave but because he is human. Because young hearts often choose poorly when challenged. They walk toward the forest as the last light dies. The forest swallows them whole. The air changes immediately, growing cold and thick. The trees are older than memory, their branches twisted like the fingers of ancient gods. No birds sing here. No wind moves. Only silence, deep and waiting. Willem's laughter fades to nervous jokes. Aldric says nothing. He feels watched. Not by eyes but by something deeper. The forest itself seems aware of their presence, measuring them, considering. Far enough, Aldric whispers. But Willem does not hear. Or does not care. He pushes deeper. The howl comes from nowhere and everywhere at once. It is not the cry of a common wolf, but something older, something that carries the weight of centuries. The sound moves through Aldric's chest like a blade of ice. Willem stops. His face goes pale. We should run. Aldric nods. They turn back toward the village. But the forest has changed. The path they took is no longer clear. The trees seem closer together. The darkness absolute. Another howl rises closer now. And then another. And another. A chorus of ancient voices. They run. Branches tear at their clothes. Roots reach up to trip them. Willem shouts Aldric's name, but the forest swallows sound like water swallows stones. Aldric runs harder, his heart hammering, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He does not see the fallen tree until his foot catches beneath it. He falls hard, his hands slamming into the cold earth. Pain shoots through his ankle. He tries to stand, but the joint will not hold him. Willem's voice grows distant, then fades, then disappears entirely. Aldric is alone. The forest grows silent again. Aldric lies still, his breath clouding in the cold air. He can feel his heartbeat in his injured ankle. He listens for Willem, for the wolves, for anything. Then he sees it. Eyes in the darkness. Not one pair but many. Yellow, unblinking, patient. They circle him slowly, drawing closer with each passing moment. Aldric tries to move, to crawl, but his body will not obey. Fear has taken root in him, turning his limbs to stone. A shape emerges from the shadows. Larger than any wolf should be. The creature stands before him, massive and terrible. Its fur is black as midnight, its eyes like twin moons. This is no ordinary beast. This is something born of old magic, old hunger, old law. The Alpha. The first among many. Aldric cannot move, cannot speak, cannot breathe. He can only stare into those eyes and understand, with a clarity that breaks him, that he is about to die. The Alpha lowers its head, sniffing the air around Aldric. Its breath is hot against his face. It growls, a sound that vibrates through the earth itself. Then it speaks. Not with words, but with meaning that enters Aldric's mind like moonlight through cracks. You are chosen. The Alpha's jaws open. Aldric sees teeth like daggers, tongue like shadow. He closes his eyes, waiting for the end. The bite comes swift and precise. Not to kill but to mark. The creature's teeth sink into Aldric's shoulder, breaking skin, breaking deeper things. Pain explodes through him, white and endless. He screams, but the forest devours the sound. When the Alpha releases him, Aldric falls back, clutching his shoulder. Blood seeps between his fingers, dark and warm. The wound burns as if fire flows through his veins. The Alpha watches him for a long moment. Then it turns and melts back into the shadows. The other wolves follow. Their eyes linger on him, curious, knowing. Aldric lies on the forest floor, his body trembling, his mind fracturing with shock. The wound throbs with each heartbeat, spreading heat through his chest, his arm, his neck. He can taste copper on his tongue. Can smell his own blood mixing with the earth. He tries to stand. Falls. Tries again. This time he manages to rise, leaning against a tree for support. His injured ankle protests, but the pain there is nothing compared to the fire in his shoulder. He must get home. Must find help. Must survive. He begins to walk. The forest releases him reluctantly. Each step is agony. Each breath a battle. Aldric stumbles through the darkness, using trees to keep himself upright. The moon rises above the canopy, full and bright and watching. He can feel its light on his skin, not gentle but hungry. The wound on his shoulder pulses in rhythm with the moon's glow. Something is changing inside him. Something fundamental and irreversible. He does not understand it yet. But his body knows. His blood knows. By the time he reaches the village edge, he is barely conscious. Willem finds him first. The boy had made it back hours ago, had raised the alarm, had led search parties to the forest's edge. They had called Aldric's name until their voices were hoarse. Now, seeing his friend stumbling from the trees, Willem runs to catch him before he falls. Aldric. Aldric, what happened? Where were you? Aldric cannot answer. He collapses into Willem's arms. Other villagers rush forward. Someone shouts for the healer. Aldric's mother appears, her face twisted with fear and relief. They carry him home through streets lit by torches. Aldric drifts in and out of consciousness, the world blurring around him. Old Marta, the village healer, tends to Aldric's wounds by candlelight. She cleans the bite on his shoulder, her weathered hands gentle but thorough. She applies poultices made from herbs gathered under specific moon phases. She mutters prayers in the old tongue. But when she sees the wound clearly, her hands pause. Her breath catches. She looks at Aldric's mother with eyes full of terrible knowledge. This is no ordinary wolf bite, she whispers. Aldric's mother grips her son's hand. He will live. Marta does not answer immediately. She finishes binding the wound, then steps back. He will live. But how he lives, that remains to be seen. That night, Aldric burns with fever. He dreams of running through the forest on 4 legs. Dreams of hunting beneath the moon. Dreams of a voice that calls his name in a language older than human speech. He wakes screaming. His mother is there, pressing a cool cloth to his forehead, whispering that he is safe. But Aldric knows the truth. He will never be safe again. The wound on his shoulder has begun to scar. But it does not fade. It remains dark and raised, shaped like the crescent moon. A mark. A claim. A curse. When dawn comes, Aldric is still alive. The fever has broken. He sits up slowly, his body aching but functional. His mother brings him broth. His father stands in the doorway, relief and worry warring on his face. "What attacked you?" his father asks. Aldric looks at the bandage on his shoulder. He thinks of yellow eyes and ancient voices. He thinks of the word that entered his mind like prophecy. Chosen. "I don't remember," he lies. "It was dark. I was running. Something bit me. Then Willem found me." His father nods, accepting the lie because the truth is too terrible to consider. But Aldric sees the doubt in his mother's eyes. She knows something is wrong. Mothers always know. Willem comes in the afternoon, bringing bread his mother baked. He sits beside Aldric's bed, uncharacteristically quiet. Finally he speaks. "I'm sorry. It was my fault. The dare, the forest. I'm sorry, Aldric." Aldric shakes his head. "I chose to go. You didn't force me. But It's done," Aldric says softly. "I'm alive. That's what matters." But both boys know that something has changed between them. A distance has opened, thin as spider's silk but real. Willem senses it, though he cannot name it. He stays only a short while longer, then leaves with promises to visit again tomorrow. Aldric watches him go. Already he feels different from his friend. From everyone. The days pass slowly. Aldric's ankle heals. The wound on his shoulder closes but does not disappear. He returns to his daily tasks, helping his father, attending lessons, speaking when spoken to. To the village he appears normal. Perhaps quieter than before, but normal. Only Aldric knows the truth. He can hear things no human should hear. The heartbeat of a mouse in the wall. Conversation 2 houses away. The distant cry of a hawk on the mountain. His sense of smell has sharpened until it overwhelms him. He can smell fear, anger, joy. Can track a person by scent alone. And at night, when the moon rises, something inside him stirs. Hungry. Waiting. 3 weeks after the bite, Aldric wakes in the middle of the night. The moon is nearly full, its light pouring through his window like liquid silver. The wound on his shoulder burns. His skin feels too tight. His bones ache with a pain that has no source. He rises from bed and walks to the window. The forest calls to him. Not with sound but with certainty. He should go there. He needs to go there. Every fiber of his being pulls toward those dark trees. He grips the windowsill until his knuckles turn white. He will not go. He will not become what the bite tried to make him. But the pull does not fade. It only grows stronger. And so the mark was given. The curse, planted like a seed in fertile soil. Aldric returned to the village, returned to his life, believing he could remain unchanged. But the moon knows its own. And what the moon claims it keeps. The first change was coming. And nothing in the village of Cold Hollow would ever be the same. The village continues as it always has. Harvest time approaches. The fields turn gold. The air grows colder. Families prepare for winter, storing food, repairing roofs, gathering firewood. Life moves in its ancient rhythm, steady and certain. But for Aldric, nothing is certain anymore. He moves through his days like a ghost, present but not present. He smiles when expected, speaks when spoken to, performs his duties without complaint. Inside he is changing. Slowly. Quietly. Terribly. Aldric can no longer eat with his family. The smells are too strong, too distinct, too overwhelming. His mother's cooking, once comforting, now assaults his senses with 1,000 competing scents. He tastes metal in everything. His stomach rejects most food. He claims illness. His mother fusses over him, bringing weak broths and herbal teas. His father watches with concern but says nothing. They believe he is still recovering from the attack. They do not see the truth. Cannot see it. For how could they imagine such a thing exists in their son? In the schoolhouse, Aldric sits with his hands pressed over his ears, trying to block out the noise. But it does no good. He hears everything. The scratch of quills on parchment. The whisper of cloth against skin. The heartbeats of every child in the room, each one distinct and thunderous. Elder Barnaby's voice becomes a physical thing, pressing against Aldric's skull. He closes his eyes, dizzy with sensation. "Aldric." The elder's voice cuts through the chaos. "Are you unwell?" Every eye turns to him. Aldric feels their attention like needles against his skin. "I need air," he manages, rising too quickly. The bench scrapes against the floor, painfully loud. He stumbles outside before anyone can stop him. Willem finds him behind the schoolhouse, leaning against the wall, breathing hard. His friend approaches cautiously as one might approach a wounded animal. "You're not well?" Willem says. It is not a question. Aldric looks at him and sees things he never noticed before. The slight tremor in Willem's hands. The quickening of his pulse. The scent of fear underneath the concern. "I'm fine," Aldric lies. "You're not." Willem steps closer. "Something's wrong. Has been wrong since that night. Since the forest." Aldric turns away. "Leave it alone, Willem. We're friends. Let me help." "You can't," Aldric says, and the truth of it is a knife between them. Aldric begins to avoid people. He takes long walks alone. Eats meals in silence. Sleeps during the day and lies awake at night. The moon, growing fuller each night, fills him with a mixture of dread and longing. His mother notices. "You're pulling away from us," she says one evening. "From everyone." Aldric wants to tell her. Wants to explain the changes happening inside him. The fear. The hunger. The thing growing stronger every night. But how can he? What words exist for this? "I'm just tired," he says. His mother touches his face with gentle hands. "You're lying to me, my son. But I will wait. When you're ready to speak the truth, I will listen." Her kindness breaks him. He turns away before she can see his tears. Every night the dreams grow worse. Aldric runs through the forest but not as himself. His body is different. Powerful. Fast. He hunts with a pack of shadows. Brings down prey with teeth and claws. Feels the hot rush of blood, the satisfaction of the kill. He wakes gasping, his sheets tangled, his body covered in sweat. The taste of copper fills his mouth. His hands shake. He is losing himself. Piece by piece the human parts are fading, replaced by something older, something wild. The full moon is 3 days away. Old Marta appears at Aldric's home unexpectedly. She asks to examine the wound again. Aldric's mother agrees, though she seems uneasy. In the privacy of Aldric's room, Marta unwraps the bandage. The scar has changed. It glows faintly in the dim light, like moonlight trapped beneath skin. Marta traces it with one weathered finger. "I have seen this mark before," she whispers. "Long ago. In the old stories." "What does it mean?" Aldric asks, though he already knows. Marta meets his eyes. "It means you are bound to the moon now. What bit you was not merely a wolf but something far older. You carry its curse. Can it be stopped?" Marta's silence is answer enough. "The full moon comes in 3 days," Marta says. "When it rises you will change. The first transformation is the hardest. The most dangerous. You will not be yourself." "Will I hurt someone?" Aldric's voice breaks on the question. "That depends on your strength. On your will. On whether the human part of you can hold against the beast." She reaches into her bag and pulls out a length of silver chain. "Lock yourself away. Use this. It will burn you but it will hold." Aldric takes the chain. It is cold and heavy in his hands. "What if I can't control it?" "Then pray the locks hold until dawn," Marta says. "And pray no one comes near you." Aldric spends the next 2 days preparing. There is an old storage cellar beneath his family's home, used for keeping food through winter. It has a heavy door. Strong walls. No windows. He tells his parents he needs to clean it out. They think nothing of it. While they sleep he brings the silver chain down. Secures it to an iron ring set in the wall. Test it. It will hold. He brings water. Blankets. Nothing else. On the night of the full moon he will lock himself in. Will chain himself. Will pray that dawn comes before the beast breaks free. The day before the full moon, Aldric walks through the village as if seeing it for the last time. He watches children play. Listens to merchants haggling in the market square. Smells bread baking in ovens. Everything is painfully beautiful. Painfully normal. He memorizes it all, storing it away like treasures. For after tonight he may never see the world the same way again. Willem calls to him from across the square. Aldric waves but does not approach. He cannot bear to be close to anyone now. Cannot risk them sensing what he has become. He returns home as the sun begins its descent. At dinner, Aldric eats little. He watches his parents trying to memorize their faces. His mother's kind eyes. His father's rough hands. The way they look at him with love and trust. "I need to sleep in the cellar tonight," he says. "I've been having dreams. Nightmares. I thrash and cry out. I don't want to wake you." His mother frowns. "Aldric, that's... Please," he says. "Just tonight. I need the darkness. The quiet." His parents exchange glances. Finally his father nods. "If it helps." Aldric stands, embraces them both. Holds them tighter than he should. When he pulls away his mother's eyes are wet. "Sleep well, my son," she whispers. He cannot answer. Cannot promise that. So he simply nods and walks away. The cellar is cold and damp, smelling of earth and old vegetables. Aldric lights a single candle, then bolts the door from the inside. The lock is strong. The door thick oak. It will hold. He hopes. He wraps the silver chain around his wrist, securing the other end to the iron ring. The metal burns where it touches his skin, but he grits his teeth and pulls it tight. Then he waits. The moon has not yet risen, but he can feel it coming. Like a great eye opening in the sky. Watching. Calling. His heartbeat quickens. The scar on his shoulder begins to burn. It is beginning. The moon rises. Aldric does not see it, buried as he is beneath the earth. But his body knows. Every cell, every nerve, every drop of blood knows. The pain starts in his shoulder where the bite was given. It spreads like wildfire through his chest, down his spine into his limbs. His bones begin to shift, lengthening, breaking, reforming. Aldric screams. The sound echoes off the stone walls, trapped like him, going nowhere. He falls to his knees, then to all fours. His fingers curl into claws. His teeth sharpen to points. His spine arcs backward at an impossible angle. The transformation is not quick, not merciful. It tears him apart and rebuilds him piece by piece. What remains when the change is complete is no longer Aldric. Not entirely. The creature that stands in the cellar is massive, covered in dark fur, with eyes that glow like molten gold. It breathes in ragged gasps, testing its new form. The silver chain burns its wrist. The beast snarls, pulling against it. The iron ring holds. Barely. The creature remembers nothing of Aldric's life. Knows nothing of love or duty or fear. It knows only hunger. Only the need to hunt, to run, to kill. It pulls harder against the chain. The ring groans in its setting. Stone dust falls from the wall. The beast throws its head back and howls. The sound is primal, ancient, full of rage and longing. In their beds, Aldric's parents wake to the sound. His mother sits up, her face pale. "What was that?" she whispers. "A wolf," his father says, reaching for the iron poker beside the bed. "Far off. In the forest." But it does not sound far off. It sounds close. Too close. Aldric's mother rises, wrapping a shawl around her shoulders. She walks to Aldric's empty room. Stands in the doorway, staring at the unmade bed. "He's in the cellar," her husband reminds her. "I know," she says. But still she cannot shake the feeling that something is wrong. That her son is in terrible danger. Or perhaps that he is the danger. In the cellar, the beast continues to fight its bonds. The silver chain has burned deep into its flesh, but the pain only fuels its rage. It pulls. Strains. Muscles bulge beneath dark fur. The iron ring shifts. Just slightly. Just enough. Deep within the beast, buried beneath instinct and hunger, a small voice cries out. Aldric's voice, desperate and terrified. "No. Don't break free. Please. Don't hurt them." The beast pauses. Its ears flatten against its skull. It shakes its massive head as if trying to dislodge something. The voice persists. "Fight it. You're still human. Still yourself. Fight." The beast snarls, but the pulling stops. For now. The hours crawl by. The beast paces the small space, chain dragging behind it. It claws at the door, leaving deep gouges in the wood. It howls again and again, calling to something beyond the walls. Each time it pulls toward freedom, the voice inside grows stronger. "You chose this. You locked yourself here. To protect them. To protect everyone. Hold on. Dawn is coming." The beast fights itself. Beast against man. Instinct against will. It is a war with no clear victor, only the grinding passage of time. Above, the village sleeps uneasily. Dogs bark. Chickens huddle in their coops. Mothers hold their children close, sensing predators in the dark. Near midnight, the beast makes one final, desperate pull. The iron ring tears free from the wall with a shriek of breaking stone. The chain goes slack. The beast stumbles forward, free. It turns to the door. One hit. Two. The wood splinters. Cracks. But then it stops. The beast stands before the broken door, trembling. Inside, Aldric's voice screams. "No. You will not hurt them. You will not." The beast's claws hover over the door. For a long moment, nothing moves. The war within reaches its climax. Then, slowly, the beast backs away from the door. It retreats to the farthest corner of the cellar. Curls into itself. And waits. The human part has won. Barely. By the thinnest margin. The first light of dawn creeps across the sky. In the cellar, the beast begins to change again. The transformation back is faster than the first but no less painful. Bones shift. Fur recedes. Claws become fingers. The massive form shrinks, compresses until only Aldric remains. He lies naked on the cold stone floor, covered in blood and sweat and burns from the silver chain. His body shakes with exhaustion. Every muscle aches. His throat is raw from screaming. But he is alive. And he did not hurt anyone. He survived the first change. Aldric drags himself upright. His wrist is burned badly where the chain wrapped around it. The door is damaged but still closed. The iron ring lies on the floor, torn from its moorings. He gathers the blankets around himself, trying to stop shaking. Trying to process what happened. What he became. He is a monster now. There is no denying it. No going back. The moon claimed him and the claim is permanent. But he is also still himself. Still Aldric. The boy who never killed. Who chose kindness over cruelty. He must find a way to be both. Man and beast. Or he will lose everything. When his father comes to check on him at dawn, he finds the cellar door damaged but locked from inside. He calls Aldric's name. After a long moment, Aldric's voice answers, weak but present. I'm all right. I had nightmares. Bad ones. I must have thrashed in my sleep. His father examines the gouges in the door, the broken ring. His face is troubled. These are claw marks, Aldric. I know, Aldric says through the door. I don't know what happened. Please, just leave me. I'll clean it up. His father stands there for a long time. Then, slowly he walks away. But Aldric can hear the doubt in his footsteps. The fear. His secret is beginning to unravel. Later that day, Willem comes looking for Aldric. He finds him in the forest, sitting on a fallen log, staring at nothing. You weren't at lessons, Willem says. I'm not feeling well. Willem sits beside him. For a while, neither speaks. Then Willem says quietly, something happened last night. People heard howling. Not from the deep forest but close. Very close. Some say it came from the village itself. Aldric says nothing. Aldric, Willem continues, his voice barely a whisper. What's happening to you? I don't know, Aldric lies. But you should stay away from me. It's not safe. You would never hurt me. Aldric turns to look at his friend. At his innocence. His trust. You don't know what I'm capable of, he says. I don't even know anymore. That night, Aldric sits alone in his room. The moon, still nearly full, shines through his window. The scar on his shoulder throbs with each pulse of light. He thinks of the beast he became. The strength. The hunger. The terrible, beautiful freedom of it. He thinks of how close he came to breaking free. To hunting through the village. To becoming the monster the elders warned about. And he realizes the truth. This will happen again. Every full moon for the rest of his life. He will transform. Will fight himself. Will struggle to hold on to his humanity. Some months he might win. Some months he might not. This is his fate now. His curse. His burden to bear. Aldric stands and walks to the window. He places his hand against the glass, feeling the moon's light against his palm. I will not become a monster, he whispers to the night. I was bitten. Cursed. Changed. But I am still myself. Still human where it matters. The moon offers no answer. Only light. Only silence. I will find a way, Aldric continues. To live with this. To control it. To protect those I love. It is a promise made to himself. To the village. To the boy he was before the bite. A promise he is not certain he can keep. But he must try. For what else is there? And so Aldric learned the truth of what he had become. Beast and man. Cursed and human. The first change had passed, but it would not be the last. The moon would rise again. And again. And the battle within him would continue month after month, year after year. But he was not alone, though he did not know it yet. Others carried curses of their own. Others fought their own battles with fate. And soon, one such soul would arrive in Greyvale, bringing with her a destiny intertwined with his own. The story was far from over. It had only just begun. The village of Greyvale continues its rhythm. Harvest has come and gone. The first frost touches the ground each morning. Smoke rises from every chimney as families prepare for the cold months ahead. Aldric has learned to survive. Each full moon he locks himself in the cellar. Each transformation tears him apart and rebuilds him. Each dawn he emerges more exhausted than the last. But he has not hurt anyone. Has not killed. Has kept his secret buried deep. Yet the isolation grows heavier with each passing day. He is present but not present. Alive but not living. Willem still tries to reach him. Brings him food. sits beside him in silence. But the friendship has changed. There is a wall between them now, invisible but real. "You're different," Willem says one afternoon. They sit by the river watching the water flow past. "Not just quiet. Something else. Something I can't name." Aldric says nothing. What can he say? That his friend is right? That the boy Willem knew is slowly disappearing, replaced by something wild and dangerous? "I'm still here," Aldric finally whispers. But even he does not believe it. That evening, Aldric's mother prepares dinner while he sits by the fire. She moves quietly, her hands steady as she cuts vegetables. But her eyes keep drifting to her son. Finally she speaks. "I know you carry something heavy, Aldric. I see it in your eyes. In the way you flinch from touch. In how you disappear each full moon." Aldric's hands tighten on his knees. "Mother, I don't need to know what it is," she interrupts gently. "Not until you're ready. But know this, you are my son. Nothing will change that. Nothing." Her words break something inside him. He bows his head, fighting tears. She crosses to him, places a hand on his shoulder. Right over the scar. That night, as Aldric lies in bed, he hears them. Howls in the deep forest. Not close but not far enough. The pack is moving. Hunting. Watching. He rises and goes to the window. The moon is waning, thin as a silver thread. But he can still feel its pull. Can still hear the wolf inside him stirring, listening to its kin. One howl rises above the others. Deeper. Older. The alpha. The one who bit him. The one who marked him as chosen. Aldric presses his palm against the cold glass. The alpha has not forgotten him. Has not released him. Whatever purpose the creature has for Aldric, it is not yet complete. The next day, news spreads through the village like wildfire. A new family is arriving. Coming from the eastern provinces. Seeking refuge, some say. Fleeing something, others whisper. Elder Barnaby stands in the village square, addressing the gathered crowd. They are travelers in need. We will welcome them as the old laws command. We will offer shelter and kindness. But Aldric sees the unease in people's faces. Strangers are rare in Greyvale. The village is small, insular, suspicious of outsiders. Change is not welcome here. Aldric feels something stir in his chest. A knowing without words. Whoever is coming, they are important. Connected to him somehow. They arrive in a wooden cart pulled by two tired horses. A man drives, his face weathered and grim. Beside him sits a woman with kind eyes and gray streaks in her dark hair. Behind them, wrapped in a thick cloak, sits a girl. The villagers gather to watch. Whispers ripple through the crowd. The family looks ordinary enough, but something about them feels strange. Displaced. As if they carry shadows from far away. The girl lifts her head and Aldric sees her face. She is perhaps his age, maybe younger. Dark hair falls around pale features. But it is her eyes that stop his breath. Gray as storm clouds. Come. Ancient. Knowing. Their gazes meet across the square. And Aldric feels it, a pull as strong as the moon's call. Recognition without understanding. The girl's name is Talia. Her father introduces the family to Elder Barnaby. They speak of traveling from the east. Of seeking a quieter place. Of wanting only peace and a chance to start anew. Elder Barnaby nods, accepts their story without pressing for details. He assigns them an empty cottage at the edge of the village. Close to the forest. Close to where Aldric's family lives. As the family prepares to move to their new home, Talia turns once more. Her eyes find Aldric in the crowd. She does not smile. Does not acknowledge him openly. But something passes between them. A message without words. I see you. I know you. We are the same. Then she turns away, following her parents down the narrow path. That night, Aldric cannot sleep. He tosses and turns, his mind full of gray eyes and unspoken knowing. Who is she? What does she carry that feels so familiar? Why does his blood sing when he thinks of her? The wolf inside him is restless. Not hungry. Not angry. Something else. Curious. Alert. As if it recognizes something in her that the human part cannot yet understand. Aldric rises and paces his small room. The moon is dark tonight, giving him peace from its pull. But there is no peace in his thoughts. Tomorrow he will find her. Will learn what she hides. Will discover why fate has brought her to Greyvale. The next morning, Aldric goes to the village market. He helps his mother carry baskets, but his eyes keep searching the crowd. Looking for dark hair and gray eyes. He finds her at the fabric merchant's stall. She stands beside her mother, running her fingers over a bolt of wool. Her movements are careful, precise. As if she is always aware of her body, always in control. Aldric's mother notices his attention. She smiles slightly. The new girl. Talia, I believe. Her mother seems kind. Perhaps you should introduce yourself. Before Aldric can respond, his mother is already moving toward them. He has no choice but to follow. Welcome to Greyvale, Aldric's mother says warmly. I am Mira, and this is my son Aldric. Talia's mother turns, her smile genuine but tired. Thank you. I am Elena, and this is my daughter, Talia. The two mothers begin to talk. About the village, about winter preparations, about ordinary things. But Aldric and Talia stand in silence, studying each other. Finally, Talia speaks. Her voice is soft but steady. You live near the forest. It is not a question. Aldric nods. At the edge. And you? The same. Her gray eyes hold his. Do you walk there often? In the forest? I used to, Aldric says carefully. Not anymore. Why? The question is simple but loaded with meaning. Aldric hesitates. It's dangerous after dark. Everything is dangerous after dark, Talia says. For some of us, danger exists in daylight too. Their mothers continue talking, unaware of the charged conversation between their children. Aldric studies Talia, trying to understand what she means. What she is hinting at. You feel it too, Talia whispers, so softly only he can hear. The pull. The recognition. I don't know what you mean, Aldric lies. Yes, you do. She looks away, her jaw tight. We are not meant to speak of it here. Too many years. Too many eyes. But we will talk. Soon. Before Aldric can respond, their mothers finish their conversation. Elena guides Talia away, back toward their new home. But Talia glances back once. Her eyes hold a promise. We will speak the truth, you and I. The truth no one else can know. Willem finds Aldric later that day, excitement bright in his eyes. Did you see the new family? The girl is beautiful, isn't she? Strange though. Very quiet. Aldric says nothing. Willem continues, undeterred. I heard her father was a merchant. Lost everything in a fire. They came here to start over. Sad story. Is that what they say? Aldric asks. That's what people are saying. What? Do you think it's not true? Aldric shakes his head. I think everyone has secrets. Some are just better at hiding them. Willem laughs, but it sounds uncertain. You sound like Elder Barnaby. Speaking in riddles. He pauses, then adds quietly, she asked about you. At the market. Asked your name. Aldric's heart quickens. What did you tell her? Just your name. That you're my friend. That you're quiet. Willem studies him. Why would she ask about you? You only just met. I don't know, Aldric says. But he does know. She sees something in him. Just as he sees something in her. 3 nights later, Aldric cannot sleep. The moon is waxing, still days from full, but already he feels its call growing stronger. He rises and walks outside, needing air, needing space. The village is silent. Everyone sleeps. He walks toward the forest edge, drawn by habit and instinct. That is where he finds her. Talia stands at the treeline, her white nightdress glowing in the starlight. Her dark hair hangs loose down her back. She does not turn when he approaches, but she speaks. You feel it tonight, don't you? The pull. The hunger. Aldric stops a few paces away. How do you know? Because I feel it too. Different but the same. A curse. A mark. A burden we did not choose. She turns to face him. In the darkness, her eyes seem to glow. Show me your scar. Aldric hesitates, then slowly pulls aside his shirt collar. The crescent scar on his shoulder gleams faintly in the darkness. Talia steps closer, studying it. A wolf's bite, she whispers. The mark of the moon. You are bound to it now. Cursed to change. How do you know? Aldric's voice shakes. Talia reaches up and slowly unties the ribbon at her throat. She pulls aside the fabric of her nightdress, revealing her own shoulder. There, dark against her pale skin, is a mark. Not a bite, but a symbol. Intricate. Branded into her flesh. The mark of the beast, she says quietly. Every firstborn in my family bears it. A witch's curse, passed down through generations. We are marked before birth. Claimed by something we cannot escape. Aldric stares at the mark. It is different from his scar, but the meaning is the same. Cursed. Chosen. Changed. We are the same, Talia says. Both marked. Both cursed. Both hiding what we are. They sit together at the forest's edge, 2 cursed souls finding solace in shared truth. Aldric tells her about the bite. The transformations. The struggle to remain human. The fear of hurting someone. Talia listens without judgment. When he finishes, she speaks. My curse is different. I do not transform. But I am not fully human either. The mark gives me abilities. I can sense things. Feel the wildness in others. Know when danger approaches. I am stronger than I should be. Faster. My senses are sharper. Like mine, Aldric says. Yes. The witch who cursed my ancestors made a pact. She would save them from starvation, but every firstborn would bear her mark. Would carry the blood of beast. We are not werewolves, but we are not entirely human either. Does anyone know? Aldric asks. About your mark? My parents. No one else. We hide it always. Keep it covered. If people knew, we would be cast out. Or worse. Talia looks at him. And you? Who knows your secret? No one. I hide it. Lock myself away during the full moon. Lie to everyone I love. He pauses. Why did you tell me? How did you know you could trust me? Because I felt it the moment I saw you. The same curse. The same struggle. We recognize each other, creatures of two worlds. She reaches out slowly, her hand hovering near his. We are not alone anymore. Aldric takes her hand. Her skin is warm, her grip strong. In that moment something shifts. A bond forms. Not love, not yet. But understanding. Connection. Two cursed souls finding each other in the darkness. There is danger coming, Talia says suddenly, her voice tight. I feel it. Something dark. Something angry. It moves toward the village. Aldric's blood runs cold. The Alpha. The one who bit me. He has not forgotten. He wants something from you. From us. Talia's gray eyes are distant, seeing things beyond normal sight. Revenge. Power. Something ancient and terrible. We must be careful. Will you help me? Aldric asks. When the time comes? Talia squeezes his hand. We are bound now, you and I. By curse and fate. When darkness comes, we will face it together. They sit in silence, hands joined, two marked souls under the waning moon. Neither knows what the future holds. But for the first time since the bite, Aldric does not feel completely alone. They part as dawn begins to break. Talia walks back to her cottage. Aldric returns to his. Both move silently, careful not to wake their families. But Aldric's mother is already awake. She stands in the kitchen, preparing bread. When Aldric enters, she looks at him for a long moment. You were with a new girl. Talia. It is not a question. Aldric nods. His mother's expression softens. She understands you, doesn't she? In ways others cannot. Yes, Aldric whispers. Then hold to that, my son. In dark times, such understanding is precious beyond measure. She turns back to her work. But be careful. The village watches. And they do not trust what they do not understand. And so two cursed souls found each other in the darkness. Both marked. Both changed. Both hiding what they truly were from a world that would reject them. A bond was forming, fragile as spider's silk but strong as iron. But darkness was indeed coming. The Alpha had not forgotten his chosen one. And the full moon would rise again, bringing with it tests neither Aldric nor Talia could yet imagine. The story deepens. The curse spreads. And fate draws ever tighter around them all. If you enjoyed this episode of The Curse of the Moonbound Shepherd, please smash the like button. For more folklore stories, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.